Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories now. All is set for the governorship polls in Bayelsa and Kogi states as the Federal High Court throws out all the suits challenging the conduct of the supplementary polls in Kogi. Chinese President Xi Jinping announces a $60 billion boost for development projects in Africa over the next 3 years. President Muhammadu Buhari taps into the new China deal to visit Beijing early next year to consolidate on the agreements reached in South Africa. And police in Paris seek 2 new suspects accused of aiding the fugitive suspect Saleh Abdeslam from the Paris attacks. Do remember that all our top stories can be found on our website. It's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. When you're done downloading, we do urge you to please interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android, iOS and Windows platforms. If you've got pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, simply tap on the Channels TV app on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions. Well, here are some eyewitness reports you sent into our portal, and we'll begin with this photo sent in from Lekki area in Lagos State. It shows these teenagers wearing roller skates hanging onto a commercial bus as it drives along the Lekki-Egbe Expressway. Our eyewitness reporter wants traffic regulators to stop this increasing trend. Our next photo is from Igondo community in Lagos State. It shows the aftermath of a motor accident involving this sports utility vehicle and a roadside market. So eyewitness reporter wants motorists to obey traffic rules, especially speed limits. And finally, this photo was sent in from Ogbia local council area in Bayelsa State. It shows a man walking towards a floating convenience to ease himself. Our eyewitness reporter wants state authorities to come to the aid of riverine communities and provide basic social amenities. We do appreciate you sending in those pictures, as we ask that you keep them coming. Thank you so much indeed. We now go back to the court ruling by Justice Gabriel Kolawole earlier today, bordering on the Kogi supplementary polls. Justice Kolawole had struck out all the cases, saying that the court lacked jurisdiction to adjudicate on the issues raised. We're now being joined on the news at 10 by Mr. Paul Ananaba, a senior advocate of Nigeria, to look at the judgment. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on the news at 10. What we saw was anxiety in the air to its fullest on whether the elections will go on or not. But just like a pack of cards, the court comes out and says, all the cases, we throw them out. Did you see this coming? Is this a surprise?
Thank you. It wasn't a surprise because if you look at the legal framework with respect to elections, elections are said to be sui generis. And courts are not expected to stop elections. So it won't come as a surprise. But when you look at it closely, these suits, were they actually pre-election matters? To some extent, elections are taking place. Once elections have taken place, everything coming in as a suit has to go to Section 285 to the tribunals. Now, you'll be wondering, why would lawyers go and file action in the Federal High Court knowing that there is a Section 285 in the Constitution and there is Section 87 of the Electoral Act? So that's the challenge. I believe that Justice Kolawole was right not to have stopped the election. Remember, preparations had already gone in. I believe that the rights of the parties have not been foreclosed. Immediately the election finishes, they have the opportunity to now go to the tribunal and canvass the issues. Before I leave that, I had canvassed him clearly that the advice to INEC to advise or direct APC to substitute a candidate is fine, it's fair, but has no legal backing. Justice Kola Wallace seems to have given that a legal backing by stating that the election, that advice is lawful and that the election should go on. The question is, if a judge says, well, I don't have jurisdiction, can he actually make orders with respect to the matter?
But now that the Federal High Court has hands off this matter completely, what do you expect to see?
Yeah, what I expect is that the parties should now go to the polls, finish with the polls, and then head to the election petition tribunals to ventilate their grievances. Obviously, there are grievances. It is only the election petition tribunals by Section 285 and Section 87 of the 285 of the Constitution and 87 of the Electoral Act that can, look into these matters, that has jurisdiction. No matter what any federal high court or state high court feels, they cannot have jurisdiction when elections have taken place. They are not pre-election matters. They are matters that arose within elections. And you cannot, because the election was inconclusive, begin to believe that the federal high court should come into it, because the federal high court has limited jurisdiction. Section 251 of the Constitution limits what the federal high court can do. So I believe that that judgment today, because it's a decision, even though it's a ruling, that decision today has taken us a step further. But it doesn't mean that the coast is completely clear. The parties will have the powers and rights to now approach the election tribunals. That's when you see greater legal fireworks.
Paul Ananaba, I want to thank you so much indeed, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, for talking to us on the News at 10. We do appreciate your time and your thoughts.
Thank you.
With the December 31st deadline set by the President Muhammadu Buhari to stamp out Boko Haram just a few weeks away, army chiefs are meeting in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, to strategize in a desperate attempt to meet up with the deadline. The meeting took place at the Military Command and Control Center in Malari Barracks, Maiduguri, relocated from Abuja for the purpose of the operations. Chief of Defense Staff Gabriel Olonishakin, Chief of Army Staff Tukur Borachai, and the Theatre Commander Operation Lafia Dole, Major General Abubakar Yusheu, are among those in attendance at the Maiduguri meeting.
We have been on it. Of course, we had some losses, and these losses are things that are not they are inevitable in operations. But then the rate of losses is what you consider to make sure that you put up actions and strategies to reduce the losses. But then it's inevitable in operations.
Still to come on the News at 10, the Organization of Exporting Countries shocks oil marketers as the group keeps production output at about 31.5 million barrels a day. That's on Business News. Join us again.